Buyer's remorse runs rampant through everybody's life at some point. It's something I have very much experienced, and I'm sure you have as well. There are also so many pieces that I have never regretted buying, and frankly that I'm really grateful to have in my wardrobe. So today I'll be sharing with you a handful of clothes that you will never regret buying. These are pieces that possess longevity, versatility, reliability. They're able to transcend seasons and occasions, and that's why they landed on this list as really strong staples that you will never regret buying. Before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, give this video a thumbs up, and let's get into these items. The first item that you will never regret buying is a transitional coat. Dressing for transitional weather can be sometimes a little bit frustrating, especially if you live in an area with unpredictable weather. One day you're forced to wear your winter coat, the next day a short sleeve shirt is fine. If you are from the Northeast like me, I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. So when I'm having a moment of doubt on those in-between days, I often look towards a transitional coat or a transitional jacket to help complete my look. There are a number of transitional styles that you can look for when it comes to coats and jackets. The one that has been serving me the best in the time that I'm filming this video is a trench coat. This is one of my more recent thrift finds that I'm like super duper proud of and that I've just been wearing non-stop because of how versatile it is. A trench coat that is mid-length is a really great option because it covers a good portion of your bottom half for those chillier days, but you can also unbutton it and keep it open for the days that are maybe a little bit warmer than you expected. Some other options are a classic denim jacket or a classic leather jacket, which oftentimes don't offer the length that you get with a trench coat, but they are still great options nonetheless. I have all three of these, all which I have purchased secondhand, and they really have done wonders for me on those unpredictable days. So if you don't have a transitional jacket or transitional coat, I highly recommend getting your hands on one. One of the most underrated pieces of clothing that you will never regret purchasing is quality, comfortable underwear. Seriously, if you want to feel good from the skin up, this is just a no-brainer. So a few years ago, I upgraded all of my old airy underwear to Intimacy, which has been one of the best things I've ever done for my wardrobe. One time I was even traveling and I lost my luggage and I beelined straight to an Intimacy store because I was like, there's just no way I'm gonna get anything else. This is my preferred brand, but there are so many other brands out there that offer high quality underwear that you can purchase. I will mention those in a second, but first let's talk about what actually makes underwear high quality and comfortable. I find that cotton underwear tends to be the general consensus for what's considered high quality and comfortable. It's a really breathable fabric. It's comfortable, it's lightweight. And another thing that you want to consider for quality is actually the size that you're purchasing. So I wear smalls in all of my bottoms and my pants and everything, but when I purchase underwear, I purchase a medium because it's just more comfortable for me. So that is personal preference, but I've heard a lot on the internet and through my friends and everything like that, that purchasing a size up is oftentimes the way to go because it's just more comfortable. You're going to get more use out of it because you're not going to be dreading putting a uncomfortable piece of underwear on. So not too big where I'm swimming in them, but also not too small where like it's going where the sun don't shine. Now, when it comes to the style of underwear, that is completely personal preference. Like, you could be a G-string lover, you could be a boy short person, like whatever works for you is your own personal preference. This is one of the items where I've found that if I spend a little bit more, I'll have them longer. I like the styles I bought, like the whole thing is just worth it to me. So some quality underwear brands that I would recommend to you are, of course, Intimacy, that's like my number one, my go-to forever. Hanky Panky is also really good. Parade is great. I have a couple of pairs from them. And then Calvin Klein is also a really great underwear brand. And you can find them at fairly good prices at places like Costco even, or Kohls. Like those kinds of stores you can definitely look at and see if there's any Calvin Klein underwear that you can buy. The next item that you will never regret purchasing is a classic black belt. If you've watched any other videos on my channel, you know how I feel about a belt. I think it is a necessity for a majority of outfits. I find that a classic black belt is a really powerful accessory to help transform your look. It's not only a really great way to enhance your waist if that's something that you desire, something you're interested in, but it's also one of my favorite accessories to pair with other accessories. So one of my favorite things to do is pair my black belt with a black bag and a black pair of shoes, whether it's boots or sandals. It just completes the look and kind of sandwiches everything together in a really balanced and proportionate way. So I have a personal rule in my wardrobe where if it has belt loops, I'm wearing it. Like, I'm wearing a belt no matter what. I've also been loving wearing belts with dresses lately to create a little bit more definition in my waist. So I highly recommend getting yourself a classic black belt if you don't have one already. I find that the times where my outfit doesn't look complete, it's oftentimes because I am missing a belt. The next item that you will never regret buying is a pair of comfortable shoes. I think that we live in a really great time right now where comfort and style is intertwined, and you can find really cute shoes out there that are also really comfortable, especially when it comes to sneakers, which has become such a core wardrobe staple for me and for a lot of other people as well. I've said this in another video, but my high school senior quote was something along the lines of, I would never want someone to look down at my shoes and say, oh my God, this looks so comfortable. How things have changed. I am wearing sneakers a majority of the time. I do have other items in my wardrobe that I consider comfortable. Like I have a pair of black sandals that I really like. I have a pair of Doc Martens that are super comfortable for me. So again, this is kind of personal preference, but I find sneakers to be the overarching item that a majority of us feel like are comfortable. And when it comes to special occasions like weddings or birthday parties or anything like that, I do have one pair of heels that I will wear a majority of the time because they are super comfortable. So even if you're not into sneakers, there are so many other options for you. Rothy's makes a really comfortable flat. I think they have a couple other styles as well, like Mary Jane's and things like that. I don't own a pair of Rothy's, but I know a ton of people who do. My friend actually just got a pair and loves them. So I'm really excited to potentially try them out in the future. My advice to you is always make sure you try on a shoe before committing. Of course, it's easy to do this in person, but if you're an online shopper, I just recommend checking the return policy, seeing if there's any additional fees that you have to pay to return, and making your call based on that. For me, if there is even a tiny pinch, if it's a centimeter too small on my feet, I will not buy it. I know I'll be miserable, and I know that it'll just be something that sits in my wardrobe. So comfortable shoes are a must. This is also something that your body's gonna thank you for in the long run. Like, I couldn't imagine if I wore uncomfortable shoes every day. Like, I would be a mess. A true mess. The next piece of clothing that you'll never regret buying is a hero layering piece. A hero layering piece is an item that you can lean on when you need a little bit more depth and dimension to your look. It is an item that is versatile enough to go with as many things in your wardrobe as possible, and I just look at it as the true definition of old reliable. Since starting this channel, I have found myself playing a lot more with layering techniques, and there's one item that I just keep going back to no matter what, and it is a trusty blazer. My entire life, I was not a blazer person, but then I realized that I really like the look of a semi-casual but semi-polished kind of aesthetic. And that's when I learned that a blazer is my true layering piece. I can reach for it no matter what. And oftentimes it is the start to putting an outfit together. Like, I will say, I want to wear my blazer, and then I will build around it. Now, your hero layering piece doesn't have to be a blazer. It can be any other type of layering item, whether it's a cardigan or maybe you have a half zip. It can be anything that you can use to add a metaphorical exclamation point at the end of your outfit and really just complete it to perfection to get you out the door feeling confident and comfortable. The next piece of clothing that you will never regret buying is a classic white t-shirt. I am such a sucker for a classic white t-shirt. Honestly, I'm a sucker for any type of white top, but we'll just talk about the t-shirt for now. They are such a great way to brighten up and balance your look. And in my opinion, it is one of the most universal items that you can have in your wardrobe because it just goes with literally everything. I bought my white t-shirt a few years ago from Aritzia, which is sadly not in stock anymore. It really bums me out because I got a stain on my white t-shirt a couple weeks ago and I could not get it out for the life of me. And I was like, well, I just need to buy a new one. It was out of stock, but luckily I did get the stain out. But if you are looking for a really nice, high quality white t-shirt that won't break the bank, I highly recommend Everlane. I have a handful of t-shirts from them that I just love. The quality is amazing. And I do think it's important, at least for me, to buy a higher quality white t-shirt because I don't like when a white t-shirt is see-through. It just drives me nuts. So I will only buy any type of white products, including this, which I thrifted a couple days ago, that are not see-through. I can't do it. Maybe you can, but I can't. And if you don't have a classic white t-shirt, make sure you get your hands on one because it is just pure perfection. It's so versatile, and I guarantee you're gonna be wearing it more than you think. The next item that you will never regret buying is a good hat. Typically, if I've gone one too many days without washing my hair, which is the case right now, or if I'm going outside and I don't want my face to be exposed to the sun, I will reach towards a hat. It's one of those pieces that you can rely on that serves a purpose, but it's also one of those items that really pulls an outfit together nicely. There are so many different styles of hats that you can buy. I am a baseball hat girl, especially if I'm wearing a somewhat serious outfit and I want to make it a little bit more casual, a little bit more toned down. I'll just wear a baseball hat and it completes it to perfection. Or there are bucket hats, which I kind of view as the sister to a baseball hat. There are also sun hats or floppy hats that you can also wear. There are so many options that could work for you, but I think at the bare minimum, I recommend just having one baseball hat laying around. It will act as your trusty sidekick in your wardrobe when you need it, and when you just want to style it into your outfit, it also looks really nice. Lastly, you will never regret purchasing a pair of gold hoops. I am an earring person through and through. You guys already know this if you watch any of my other videos. And when I'm not wearing some type of statement earring, I always just have my classic gold hoops in. They're such a classic style that really helps bridge the gap between what we expect out of a simple stud and then what we expect out of a statement earring. It kind of just brings it all together without being too overstated, too understated. It's just perfect. Like the white t-shirt, a gold hoop is something that just goes with everything, which is why I wear mine 24/7 unless I have, again, another statement earring in. I always have my gold hoops in. So if you have your ears pierced and you've been on the hunt for an earring that really speaks for itself, you cannot go wrong with a classic gold hoop. Plus, there are so many affordable options out there for gold hoops. I got this pair from Rocksbox, which is a rental jewelry company. I ended up purchasing it after I rented them, and I love them. I've worn them for probably a year or two now. They're just perfect. A few other places I would recommend are Majuri as well as Etsy. I've gotten a lot of my jewelry off Etsy. I also have an article on my blog that I will link in the description that shares with you a ton of my favorite Etsy shops that you can look through and see if they have any gold hoops that would serve you. All right, you guys, that is the end of the video. Leave a comment down below. What's one item in your wardrobe that you will never regret purchasing? I would love to hear about it. Maybe it's an item that I featured on this list, or maybe it's something new. Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm so appreciative of your support, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.